I'm going to say this gingerly. You don't have all the time in the world.
No.
Some people are like, you know what, I'm going to get my PhD, whatever. We're not talking like PhD time. We're talking about, you need to figure something out relatively quickly. And sometimes you have to spend a little money to accelerate that. Because you can get from A to B, but the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and the way to go in a straight line is to talk to somebody who's walked that straight line and can guide you. So those are the top three things that come to mind. This country is full of people with problems. And if you figure out what problems you can solve, then you can figure out a way to make some money. Also, help individuals connect to their purpose and to revenue streams, right? So I've thought about, okay, what are all the problems that I can help solve? And there are traditional problems like these, but there are some problems that you might not even be thinking about. Like, there are a lot of lonely people out there. That's a problem. There are ways that you can help solve the loneliness problem. Um, there are lots of people who have challenges with their children, you know, eh, different types of challenges. But let's just take the most basic one. Like, what do I do with them when I go to work? Um, just think of what challenges people have. Some people just feel like there's not enough beauty in their life. How can you create an environment for somebody that's beautiful? How can you help lift someone's mental health? How can you help them with their physical wellness? If you make a list, if you just look around, there are tons of problems and you figure out which problems you can solve. I think that's a great way to start thinking about how you can generate revenue. What do you think?
You can't even count the number of ways people can make money and or get wealthy if that's your goal. But if it's just simply to cover your basic needs, there are so many ways.
So I always say, if you think about it, we've been in the workforce in mass for like 50, 60 years. They had to figure it out. They had to figure out a product or a service that they could do, that somebody would buy, that would bring home enough money to feed the family. Think about that at the most basic level.
And so I think another reason why, Andrea and I are so passionate about this topic is because, well, number one, Andrea sees it as a, recruiter and DEI specialist. She sees it on a daily basis, like how not having an income or being pushed to the point where an unexpected loss of a job can put people in really stressful situations, having to pull your kid out of college or having to stop, an activity that they may be part of, or you having to stop an activity. Like if you had a trip planned and now you have to cancel it, like these are things that we kind of want to avoid. And so we're passionate because we know that they can be avoidable if you, right, do the research, put the work in and work to figure it out. Let's just say there is a woman in the workforce who has gotten notice, maybe getting notice, or is just ready to leave, right?
Mhm.
Just to give like a couple, 1 to 2 practical steps that she can start to think about to start that pivot.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I would say is, first, start connecting with your network. Because for a couple of reasons. One, you're going to need community to get you through it emotionally and maybe other ways as well. But people who know you, who have worked with you, who, care about you, maybe even some that don't care as much, but just start connecting with people, because you're going to need those connections at some point. I'm a huge proponent of LinkedIn, but there may be other ways that you connect with your community. But definitely don't go into isolation. Don't bury your head in the sand. Connect. The second thing is, I would start making an inventory, a list of, 100 things that you might be able to do. And I would put nothing too tall or too small, right? Don't start filtering. You could think about things like, if I don't care if you were in the C suite, and you say, look, I can clean, I can babysit, I could just put everything down, stream of consciousness, come up with a huge list because you're going to eliminate some and then you're going to pick the best ones. But you need a big list so to give yourself the confidence that it's like this is not the end. There are I just sat down and created this list of 100 things that I can do. And that is going to empower you. And then there's some other things that, people start when they feel like they're losing income, they start getting really afraid to spend money. And I'm not saying that you should spend recklessly, but sometimes you have to spend a little money for some guidance and to accelerate that pivot because you don't have, I'm going to say this gingerly, you don't have all the time in the world.
No.
Some people are like, you know what, I'm going to get my PhD, whatever. We're not talking like PhD time. We're talking about, you need to figure something out relatively quickly. And sometimes you have to spend a little money to accelerate that because you can get from A to B, but the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and the way to go in a straight line is to talk to somebody who's walked that straight line and can guide you. So those are the top three things that come to mind.
Listen, let's just recap that really quick. Network and community, powerful. Knowing things that Andre says, do a list of 100, which I know can be challenging, but that's going to push yourself, right?
Mhm.
But a list of 100 things that you can do and would want to do. And then also realizing that we don't have a whole lot of time. So many of us plan, 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 but never produce. And so pivoting may cost you. An accelerated pivot should
Mhm.
cost you, right?
Mhm.
You should
Mhm.
invest in yourself in order to reap the success that others may have had. I can't say it enough. The writing is on the wall for us specifically, and really need to be about that action. If you are stuck, let us help you get unstuck. If you have ideas that never see the light of day, let us help you with that. Go ahead, check the description for more information. Also, check out the full video as well as another video that YouTube thinks you may like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.